is going on, guys? Tim or Mayo here today, and I've got another life story commentary style video that I'm going to be bringing to you guys today. I got a lot of good feedback on the last one, and honestly, these videos, they're just really fun to make, so I decided I'd go ahead and make another one. I'm going to remember this so clearly. This is probably the most memorable life story that I could possibly tell you guys, and the reason why is because I'm always going to have the mark on my leg to remind me of this event, to remind me of this night of madness. I'm always going to remember it. So let's get right into it. So it was Halloween night, and I remember it because it was the day of the Georgia-Florida football game, right? I'm personally not really a big fan of Georgia, but I'll always remember it because that was the game that was on whenever this night happened. Me and my friends, we're hanging out at my house, right? And we're just hanging out, and we're thinking, we're like, man, it's Halloween. We gotta do something big. We gotta do something cool. We gotta make this night memorable, man. It's Halloween. And this was the year 2013, I think. It was that or 14. So we're over here trying to think of ideas to make this night as memorable as possible. And the idea that we came up with, that was just the most original idea, right? It was just, no one's ever done this before. This was something that was gonna be historic, right? No. We came up with the idea to egg houses, because we're so cool. We're original. We're those guys. That was the idea. We were gonna egg houses. So later in the night, we go up to my friend's house, and we get some eggs out of his refrigerator, and our other friend comes through and he has some eggs that he got from his house. I think in total we got about 20 eggs. The night comes, there's no one out, it's dark, it's late, and we go out and we start doing the deeds. We start throwing the eggs and we egg a couple houses, and then we come across this one house, and the guy who lived there, we didn't really like him, right? So we egged his house, and then we're walking up the street, and in his house, by the way, was one of those like trailers that are made of like really thin tin, like metal. So whenever we threw the eggs, we put about good 6 or 7 eggs into that house, and whenever we did that, you could hear the contact. It made loud banging noise that you could probably hear from probably about 100 yards out. You could hear it. After that, we were walking up the street, and we're all feeling like proud of ourselves. We're a bunch of 14-year-old savages. We just threw the fucking eggs. I actually don't even remember if we were 14. How old was I when it was 2014? It's 17 now. Nah, man, this was like 2013. How old was I? We were like 15 or 16. I was 15 or 16 years old. I wasn't 14. I was 15 or 16 years old. Probably 16. Anyways, you guys can do the math if you want. I'm 20 now. So 2017 minus, and I think this was in 2013, so minus 4. Obviously, I was fucking 16 because I'm a dumbass who can't do math. Do you even math, bro? No, I don't. But anyways, so we're walking up the street and we're feeling proud of ourselves, and we hear a car coming out from behind, and we turn around and we see that it's that dude pulling out of his house, the old man that we didn't like. So we're like, oh shit, and he starts driving up, but we can tell by his car. And so we all jump in this little ditch on the side of the road, and we're just kind of hiding, hoping he doesn't see us. And he just drives right past us. And so we're all flipping out, right? We're all just losing our shit. And we're trying to think of things to do, where to go. The original idea was, yo, let's hop this fence because it was a shortcut to get back to my house where we started, right? So we're doing that, and then our friends turn around as I am halfway over the fence. All of my friends turn around and they run the opposite direction to another house that was closer by, which made sense, I guess. But my other friend, who was right behind me, you douchebag, I know you're probably hearing this right now, he knocked me over the fence because of how freaking scared he was. And he knocked me over the fence, and I got a giant cut in my leg, right? I've got a giant cut in my leg. The scar is still there today of this giant cut that I got in my leg because this douche nozzle, no offense, freaking knocked me over because he was panicked. And then, to make matters even better, in that side of the fence, there was a dog. Luckily, he was caged up within a smaller fence, and he was not a friendly looking dog. He was barking. To make it even more worse, if you could not believe that it could get much more worse, my friend ran the other way after he knocked me over. And all of my friends ran the other way, right? I get up and I'm like, where the fuck did everybody go? Because I was blacked out for probably like 2 seconds, right? So I was like, where did everybody go? I'm like, what the hell? So I just continued with the plan of getting back to my house. So I'm hopping another fence and I'm limping down the road, right? I didn't even notice I was limping. I didn't even notice I had a gash in my leg until I was about halfway down the street. And then these guys, they stopped me and they were like, hey man, you alright? It was Halloween, so a lot of people are out. They were like, hey, are you alright? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't even notice I was limping at the time. I get home, I get in my house, I get into my room, and I look at my leg. and there is blood dripping all the way down my leg. I really wish I had a picture of this so I could show you guys. To be honest, back in 2014, I didn't think I'd be doing YouTube today, so I don't have a picture. But I shit you not, it was the bloodiest my leg has ever been. And there's just this huge gash about 5 inches, 3 or 5 inches in my leg, and I still have the scar today. I cleaned that up, right? And then a couple hours later, my friends come, a couple of them, and they come into my room and they're like, yo man, where were you at? And I'm over here, I'm pissed. I'm like, you douchebags, you ditched me. And then everybody's laughing, we're all having a good, nobody really took it to heart, right? Nobody really cared. And then I showed them my leg, and my friend who pushed me, he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, man, yeah. And you know, we're just going on. They left. So the next day I wake up, and it was so stupid. Like, I should have got stitches for this, but I didn't, right? Because I didn't want to get in trouble. I was like, oh shit, my mom's gonna ground me. She's never gonna let me out of the house again if I tell her I was out egging houses. I could have come up with a stupid ass story. It didn't really cross my mind at the time. I was just more worried about not letting my mom see it, you know? But I forget all about it overnight as I sleep. And the next morning I wake up to go to school, and I go to take a shower. I feel like my gym shorts, that's what I wore around the house, was gym shorts. And I felt them kind of on, like, touching. Anytime something touched my cut, it would hurt. It would be like the worst pain ever, right? And I remember no matter what I tried to do all morning, everything just kept on banging into my leg, and I was just like, oh my fucking god. The only thing that helped was smoking marijuana, of course. Pretty much that's the story, guys. I want to thank everybody for watching, and if you enjoy these life commentaries, hey, drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and make sure you guys hit that notification bell to see them first. Anyways, guys, these videos are really fun to make. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Peace out, guys. I will see you next time.